ICE agents ripped a megaphone out of a rioter's hand after she used it to scream in his face outside of ICE Newark, and she went berserk. God bless the ICE agents for having to put up with this bullshit.
That's it. Yeah. Oh, what do you do? What are you gonna do?
These people have like some kind of insane death wish. It's like all of them really want to become a martyr for their cause. And that's like the ultimate goal. It's to like get ICE to physically attack them in some manner so that they become a martyr. And it's fucking ridiculous. I cannot imagine unironically wanting to become a martyr for your cause. It's not good, man. Like, why would you want this? Why are you so brain damaged? Bring out the tambourine of racism! That'll show them! Waka waka waka.
Let me see. Where's the megaphone? Where's the megaphone? You will not.
Look at that! It's literally fucking Howard Stern in a wig, dude! How are you gonna insult Howard Stern like that? Well, Howard Stern's a cuck, so I can insult him however I want. It's blonde Aussie back from the dead, dude. Sharon! Sharon, what have you done? The blue safety vest is a nice touch.
Batons down.
Whole bunch of kids. Lost your children in this country. Shame on you.
Why are they shouting at ICE about children? The children can get deported with their parents. I don't want to separate them. Send them home too.
Step back!
This is a battle between people who have control of their emotions and those that don't and work themselves into mob hysteria. Chat, I know I haven't seen which of these ICE agents are wearing the sexy holsters, but I was just imagining, right? Like, think of how much pent-up energy an ICE agent is gonna come home with because they can't just beat the fuck out of these protesters. Can you imagine the sex with an ICE agent after he has to deal with one of these? I think I would be out, man. I can't come into stream today. I got fucked into a coma. Sorry, chat.
Fascist!
Fascist! Enforcing laws is fascist. This just in. You're not allowed to have any laws or decorum. That makes you a fascist. Most of your chat is straight men, so no, you're pretty sure nobody had thought about that. Well, it's like, imagine yourself as an ICE officer and all of that pent-up energy from not being able to beat the fuck out of these obnoxious individuals, testing your patience for hours in a day, and then you come home to your submissive fox wife, and she's just like, how is your day, honey? Would you like to roughhouse? This just in, Kirsche stream canceled. She can't walk, let alone sit after her date with an ICE agent. It's like, I'm sitting on ice after that date, man. Holy fuck.
And we should be safe.
You're not.
How does it feel? How does it feel?
Hey, look. For all the shit ICE agents put up with, I'm gonna objectify them a little bit, okay? I'm gonna give them that thumbs up. You go, guys. I'm gonna report more DoorDash drivers to get an ICE himbo. Master Brick, thank you. They should just radioactive glow. Oh no. Why the fuck is this ogre screaming, peace be with you? Like, I feel like most of the stuff they scream is just confusing. And these guys are like, I could be at home right now. I wonder if I claimed my insurance in Tarkov. I wonder what my wife is making for dinner, you know?
How does it feel? Oh, with the little white man.
Isn't that racist? I thought we weren't supposed to do the, like, Indian cheers anymore. She doesn't look Native American.
Cheers!
If you wanted justice and peace, you would want more ice on your streets. Why are these people just, like, devoid of any brain cells? Like, if you cut open their head, it would just be like water falling out. Like, there'd just be no meat in there.
We want justice, we want peace, we want ice.
The fucking agent in the Humvee just like, yeah, I'm gonna vibe to it. Fuck you, buddy. He's so tired. Hold on. This guy, he's already dressed to go see his boyfriend after. Why are they harassing these proud minorities and underprivileged men?
We want justice, we want peace, we want you guys out of our streets. We want ice off our streets. We want justice.
Even the megaphone person sounds energy drained at this point.
We want peace, we want ice.
The day job, Daryl.
We want justice, we want peace, we want ice off.
This looks like fucking dollar store Dan Clancy. I would not be surprised if Dan Clancy went to these things though.
We want justice, we want peace, we want ice off our streets. We want justice, we want peace, we want ice off our streets. We want justice, we want peace, we want ice off our streets. We want justice, we want peace, we want ice off our streets. We want peace, we want ice off our streets. We want justice, we want peace, we want ice off our streets. We want justice, we want peace, we want ice off our streets. We want justice.
She gets close to them, they just put up their hands like, nope. Nope. Nope.
We want peace. We want ice out of our streets. We want justice. We want peace. We want ice out of our streets. Okay, man.
Somebody said that car is not a Humvee or whatever I said. It's a Tiger or something. I don't know. I don't know the names of military vehicles, man. I just mark them with markers in Tarkov. Dude is just wishing he could pull off a force push. Do you think they train for that? They're just like, maybe if I hold out my hand enough times, I can forcefully push them back. I can tap into the Jedi mind tricks. What was this protest in response to? Was ICE snagging a deportee? Probably. Probably. I have more ICE tabs. This is exactly why ICE agents are forced to wear masks. ICE Newark rioter, I have your face, motherfucker.
Kill your whole fucking family! Your whole fucking family is dead! Your children, your wife, all dead! Put your, my boy, I have your face, mother.
He's got the danger eyes. So, like, while he sounds retarded and I'd like to laugh at him, he definitely fits the bill for someone who would try to do some kind of mass terror attack. He's got the pubic hair beard. He's got the weird mouth shape. He's got the crazy eyes. This guy is a danger. This guy is dangerous. Why wasn't he arrested on the fucking spot?
Motherfucker, you're dead! Dead! I'm about that life.
I'm about that life. What the fuck?
You said come on, right? Yeah, small now. Put your stick down. Tell your boys to back.
Oh, they were busy arresting someone else so they couldn't get the death threat? Guy, unfortunate. Those are not jokes. Throw the book at this psycho. Yep, I'm sure some people will try to claim that he's joking, but it's like, no, dude, we're far past that game. Shut up. They did arrest that one guy who, like, threatened to, kill ICE agents' families. So, I mean, at least somebody got arrested. There were a few other people who were, like, tackled and arrested, when I got up to my computer. So there's some pictures here of the crazy loon guy. Here he is, dressed up like a British person for some reason. I don't know. What the fuck? Times Square, New York. Protesters hold No Kings demonstration in New York City. We the people will not be silenced. Says the guy on the side who is pro-silencing. That's a Redditor. Fucking Matrix dodged a nuke. What the fuck am I even looking at here? What the fuck is even this? The gayest thing ever. That's a rage room? Well, he didn't even do that much damage. What is... Yes, let's rage for the machine, comrade. Hampstead, New York. Hashtag George Floyd. Hashtag Brianna. I thought it was Brianna with an O. Can't even spell her name right. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Oh my god. What a soy. They're calling it the most Redditor moment of all time. True and unfortunate, man. Homeland Security posted this and said, one destroys, the other restores. Law-abiding Americans begin to clean up trash and damaged property from the left-wing riots last night. I understand the message that Homeland Security is trying to get across, but, like, you're fucking Homeland Security, man. How about just stopping the fucking riots? Because, as I said, the message is intended to be real Americans care about the areas they live in. However, this literally just sends the message of, yeah, you can riot and destroy things we care about, and the most we're ever gonna do about it is just clean up after you. Have fun. Continue being obnoxious commie retards. We're not gonna do anything about it. And they would be completely right and justified to mock and laugh at these people, because that is what they deserve, unfortunately. We have gotten to a point where our government is just like, yay, we're cleaning up after the rioters, instead of actually doing something about the rioters. That would take spines. It's all so fucking tiresome, man. Like, actually, why are you tweeting this? What is wrong with you? I would at least like to see more arrests. Like, it's great when you see fucking some people get arrested during these, but it's like, they're literally waving Antifa flags. That has been designated a terrorist organization, and you're still letting them just kind of chill there? What is wrong with you? Are we gonna let, like, ISIS fly their flags down our streets? We're gonna just get rid of the Macy's Day Parade and just, like, let ISIS have it? Like, what are we doing? What are we fucking doing? Arrests? I would like to see convictions. I don't want a rotary jail door. That's true. That's true. We can't even rely on the arrests being like a, oh, good, something will happen anymore. Because the judges or the DAs will just be like, oh, comrade, you're free to go. Why were you even arrested in the first place? It's all so tiresome. The Trump administration fucking do something. Are you as complicit in this as the Dems? It just seems like the Republican side of things, who are mostly in power, have like this strange addiction to losing. It's like they have this weird backroom handshake where it's like, okay, we will purposefully not do anything our constituents want, and we'll just keep getting elected because you guys on the left will continue berating and unpersoning people further to the right than us who would actually get shit done. And so we'll let you guys on the left keep winning and doing what you want as long as we get to keep making money. And it's also fucking tiresome, man. Have you ever wanted a pet, but the responsibility of remembering to feed and water something alive is a horrifying prospect? Get your very own Korsche today. This little guy is too low IQ to understand it's not alive. Do you already own the Conco's My Little Padded Room Magical Girl Kirsche plush? Well, get this companion Korsche to keep her company. Or maybe you just want to commit war crimes with a reliable partner who won't snitch to Interpol about your dastardly doings. Get your Korsche today. The Korsche will continue to love you, no matter what. Except if you try to do it. Do not the Korsche. The Korsche is for loving, eating, and war crimes, not for doing. Buy a Korsche for your Korsche so that they don't get lonely inside your walls. Korsches are valuable employees of Korsche Mart, and if you find a Korsche reverted back to a Kirsche, please call 1-800-KORSCHE now to have her returned to her original residence. Korsches are also an endangered species due to severe retardation, overeating, and excessive use by world powers and military conflicts. Please know that owning a Korsche does not give you the right to do it. The feds are listening to your every move. If you or a loved one has been assaulted by a Korsche, contact authorities immediately, as you will not make it. You can buy your very own life-size Korsche or a Korsche for your Korsche starting May 8th at 3 p.m. EST through June 5th at 8 p.m. EST. Get yours now before they escape and are gone forever. A federal judge has overturned New Hampshire's proof of citizenship voter registration law. A W. Murr spoke to Secretary of State David Scanlon about the ruling and what it means for voters moving forward. I think my question is, how can people vote for ID in order to vote, and politicians in the State House and State Senate pass the bill to require identification to vote, and then some random federal judge not even in the state can overturn that? How is that? What? A federal actually, I think the judge is in New Hampshire now, but I think they're from New Jersey. I think that's where I might have been. They're in New Hampshire now, but they're from New Jersey. A federal judge has overturned New Hampshire's proof of citizenship voter registration law. In the ruling that came down Friday morning, the judge said the law risks disenfranchising too many voters who are qualified to cast ballots. I don't fucking care. If they are too retarded to obtain an ID, they should not be allowed to vote. This is like the bare fucking minimum. The bare fucking minimum that should be required. If they cannot get ID to vote, they should be disenfranchised. Fuck you. In an interview taped Friday morning for Close Up, Secretary of State David Scanlon said that while he disagrees with the order, the state will revert to its 2024 election laws for now. What this means in the short term is that we will be conducting the registration process at state elections the way we have done in the past, which means a voter can come into the polling place and use an affidavit to prove certain qualifications. American Civil Liberties Union attorney Henry Clementowicz? What the fuck? It's like kleptomaniac and some Jewish last name stuffed together. Said he's pleased with the ruling. Of course he is. People can't necessarily afford to take hours and hours and make multiple trips to go register to vote, when that's one of our country's most fundamental rights anyway, he said. And this law just made it harder for them. I would like to point out something. When I moved my driver's license over, I needed my birth certificate, proof of residence, my old driver's license, because obviously I had one previously, and like a couple of like bills that prove like I do live here and it's not like a secondary home and I'm registering in a second state, right? And like I got all this paperwork together and I went in and they gave me the temporary license. They took my old license and they were like, would you like to register to vote at this time? And I said, yes, I would. Please take me off the rolls in the other state and put me on these ones. And then they did. It's really not that fucking difficult. And there's been like some brainlets ever since like the national conversation on requiring ID to vote, which that should be the case. There's been some brainlets who are like, oh no, what about married women? Married women aren't gonna be able to put their new last name on their birth certificate. What the fuck are you talking about? You've never changed your birth certificate. The birth certificate always has the maiden fucking name. It's your marriage certificate that has your updated name, and you just bring both of those things. What are we doing? What are we fucking doing? It's like they've moved the goalpost now because they realized how fucking racist they sound by being like, black people can't get IDs, brah. They realized how actually outwardly racist that fucking sounds, and so they've moved to, but think of the married women. Think of the married women and their changed last name. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh my god. They're still fighting to count the dead and pets, so you're not surprised? It's so fucking absurd. But Kirsche, women are too stupid to get a copy of their birth certificate and marriage certificate. That's true. That's 2 documents. Women can't even count that high. Now they just sound sexist, but that's okay. Because, you know, the real women are men in current year, after all. Scanlon said that it might not be New Hampshire's case that ultimately gets there, but he believes the issue of proof of citizenship registration will eventually reach the U.S. Supreme Court. I think it's a blow to voter confidence in the state because it is important that voters exercise their right to vote in an easy way, Scanlon said. The Attorney General's office said it plans to appeal the ruling. Good. I hope they do, and I hope they actually can fucking win the appeal. We are disappointed with the court's decision and are carefully reviewing the order at this time, the office said in a written statement. HB 1569 represents a common-sense approach to voter registration and election administration designed to protect the integrity of our elections. The New Hampshire Department of Justice has an obligation to defend the laws enacted by our elected representatives, and we intend to pursue an appeal in this matter. And I think the couple of things that New Hampshire's been trying to get done are a very real look into just the mechanisms that prevent people wanting to get things done from actually getting things done. Right? We have this, where politicians listen to constituents and they passed a law to require proof of citizenship for voter registration, and this has been struck down by some nonsense federal judge, which we'll get to more of this in a second. They tried to repeal the Office of Refugee Resettlement, and somehow that was like stuffed into a batch voting thing where like the people in the Senate didn't even know that it was in the ballot. They just batch voted to like send all of these bills to the no stack. And it's just like, why is that even a thing? Why are there so many bills that like you vote in a stack and then something incredibly important gets in there? What the heck? And then there was also the car inspections. Thank you, Bives. Where they repealed the need to like have any kind of vehicle inspection regularly to get your stickers and whatnot. And then the car manufacturers, or the manufacturers who like give the inspection shit, were just like, hey, we're gonna actually sue the state because we're gonna lose money. It's like, I don't give a shit if you're gonna lose money. You losing money shouldn't even be part of the conversation and when a law gets passed. Like, what are we talking about? It's absolutely ridiculous. And the great response, right, since it was just like some uppity people trying to sue because, oh, we're gonna lose money. The correct response was the response given. Okay, we're going to appeal this, but also we're not going to actually enforce any violations until that point anyway. It was the company that held the contract to conduct and issue the inspection stickers. Thank you, Bives. I'm glad you remember actually the nitty-gritty details. We have Ross Berry here, New Hampshire state rep for Weir and Goffstown, saying unelected judge ignores Supreme Court to strike down election integrity law. Concord, New Hampshire House Election Law Chairman Ross Berry responded to today's federal court decision striking down HB 1569. I'm not surprised that an unelected judge appointed by the auto pen in 2021 would push far-left Democratic policies on the people of New Hampshire. The vast majority of Granite Staters support common-sense election integrity laws. HB 1569 requires voters to prove their citizenship prior to casting a ballot. This isn't the first time a progressive judge has ignored the law and precedent to push a political agenda. It's a pattern. Democrats know their policies are deeply unpopular in the Granite State. That is why they must rely on unelected far-left judges to force their ideology onto voters. They tried the same trick with their vehicle inspection sticker scheme. Hey, he mentioned the same thing I did. Their racket failed then, and it will fail now, he continued. Chairman Berry has also provided the following background. Here's what matters legally. Judge Elliott's decision is wrong on the law itself. In Brnovich versus Democratic National Committee 2021, the United States Supreme Court was clear that states may act against election fraud without waiting for it to occur and be detected within its own borders. Yet, Judge Elliott demanded concrete evidence of non-citizen voting before letting New Hampshire verify citizenship. That approach conflicts with the Supreme Court's recognition that states may act proactively to protect election integrity. She also applied the wrong standard of review under Burdick versus Takushi, 1992. Strict scrutiny applies only when a law severely restricts the right to vote, and laws imposing reasonable and non-discriminatory restrictions are justified by the state's important regulatory interests. Asking a voter to prove citizenship is exactly the kind of reasonable requirement. In Crawford versus Marion County Election Board 2008, the Supreme Court upheld a voter ID law even though the record contained no evidence of in-person voter impersonation fraud in Indiana. Judge Elliott flipped that framework on its head. Plus, in Purcell versus Gonzalez 2006, the Supreme Court reaffirmed that a state indisputably has a compelling interest in preserving the integrity of its election process. Judge Elliott invented a requirement the Constitution does not impose, Chairman Berry explained. This decision contradicts Supreme Court precedent, and I urge the state to appeal this ruling. House Republicans will continue the fight for free and secure elections in spite of what a far-left radical judge may try to force down our throat, he concluded. It's like, again, I would love to see more politicians talk like this and push back on this kind of shit. It's wonderful to see people in New Hampshire actually trying to get shit done. Ocean Yan, thank you. Might be off topic, but since I'm covering the news, how do I cover and be exposed to all of this all the time without going nuts? What is your secret to remain sane and grounded or have hope? I think it's more just like bulwarking myself against falling into a black pill spiral, because once you give up, that's how they win. And I fucking hate communists. And especially after last year where I was subjected to a libelous run-in with a ton of lies, people trying to financially ruin me, ruin my reputation, get me basically attempting to get me harmed physically in real life. Yeah, no. I would rather live incredibly in spite and do everything I can to make sure those people never know peace again than to ever give up from any of the things that I read, no matter how depressing it is. So if you feel like all hope is lost, at least tap into that infinite well of spite and be like, you know what? I may have lost my will to live, but I don't want these people to fucking win. And so I will live based on that. And then, a Biden appointee from New Jersey has ordered that New Hampshire's requirements passed in 2024 for voters to prove their citizenship when registering must be set aside. This guy says she, but this looks like a wrestler in a wig. Like, this does not look like a she by any stretch of the imagination. I've seen some, like, manly Russian bodybuilder women. Absolutely, this is not a woman. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way this is a woman. But Donald McFarlane continues, she might want to tell Stephen M. and DHS Gov that a signed affidavit is all that is needed to prove citizenship now. Who needs passports when traveling if you can just say, it's so. Yeah, what? There's a screenshot here that says, for many years, New Hampshire voters have been required to prove their citizenship. After this order goes into effect, New Hampshire voters will still be required to prove their citizenship. Instead, this case questions, in part, whether it is constitutional to remove one of the methods previously available for proving citizenship, an affidavit swearing to the voter's citizenship under penalties of voter fraud. It may be tempting for some to describe the qualified voter affidavit as an exception to the proof of citizenship requirement, but it is not. What the fuck is happening? Your Honor, I swear, I'm American. Oh yeah, do you guys remember when we read this tweet the other day? The queer prom for children being held at a Medford public library in Massachusetts? You guys remember this, right? This was only like a day or two ago. I don't remember if it was last stream or the stream before that, but it's pretty recent. Pretty fucking recent. Unfortunately, yes. Well, unfortunately, for the residents of Massachusetts, Medford Public Library is not the only place hosting a queer prom in June. The YMCA in Salem, Massachusetts is hosting a queer prom for children with drag queens. The same YMCA received a $115,000 public grant from the city of Salem to refurbish the building where this queer prom is being held. They're openly grooming our kids with our tax dollars. And I think that there is no greater proof of, like, it being a humiliation tactic than when tax dollars are used to promote the evils of either communists or invaders. And we're gonna get to that because the UK has definitely topped what's going on with queer prom for kids. YMCA in Salem, Mass is hosting a queer prom for children with drag queens. Same YMCA received a $115K public grant from the city of Salem to refurbish the building where this queer prom is being held. And then the actual flyer itself says, Queer Prom 2026, register here. It's a QR code. A night hosted by Nagley at the Salem Y. Professional photos, fabulous drag performers, food and entertainment. Saturday, May 30th, 5 to 8 p.m. Ames Hall, Salem, YMCA. Free event. Please register above. Open to LGBTQ youth ages 14 to 23. Why are you having a prom that integrates 14-year-olds and 23-year-olds? Like, if we see this on a Discord dating server and can see that that's wrong, why is this happening at a queer prom? Oh, what the fuck? And then it says project name, historic Ames Hall renovation. Project description, and it has the $115,000 here. Grant funds to the Salem YMCA in order to refurbish Ames Hall entrance. Implement technology upgrades for the sound system. Install 2,065 square feet of acoustic tile ceilings and wall panels to enhance the acoustics of the auditorium. And work with architects and consultants to ensure the historical integrity of the space. So they literally did just get a grant to refurbish it for queer prom. That's kind of crazy. That's a little goofy. Actually paying for people to groom your kids. Wonderful. Yeet said Blow Blacks and Hassan call out drama channels for not farming Asmongold. And Blowback said, genuinely, how are drama channels not milking Asmongold clips like they do with iDubbbz? Bro is way more of a lol cow than Ian ever was, especially right now. I don't think these people know what a lol cow is. Comparing Asmongold to iDubbbz is kind of fucking wild. Because one is like the Roach King who manages to fuck like incredibly attractive cosplay girls who have bipolar disorder. And iDubbbz is a cuck. Like, and then Hassan said, because they are all mostly right-wing and are want to maintain a right-wing audience after years of trying to farm me as public enemy #1. Well, you are a commie, so anyone sane will think of you as public enemy, yes. And then it's a picture of Asmongold confused because, yeah, that's the correct reaction to those tweets. And then I decided to reply, I milk Asmon because I like him. So, apparently, I'm gonna get to see a clip and be incredibly embarrassed. Screenshot related!
How are you a victim in like somebody else's tweet complaining about me? So yeah, that's the reason why people don't make videos. I milk Asmon because I like, oh wow. And I wish that was the case more. And I don't know which one's pretending to be a woman, which one's going to federal prison outweighs the goblin from Texas. It's simple, people believe what Asmon's saying.
Oh wow. Asmon's the only guy Kirsche's curse is not affected. Yeah, he's so straight, he just says he'll suck dick anyway, you know? My curse is not affecting him, it's great. You like plain milk? That's why we know you're autistic. You kiss your husband with that mouth? A good husband will kiss you after you suck his dick. It just makes sense. Let's just link that tweet with Asmongold talking about how attractive men are. He was talking about how men are more attractive than women the other day. Sorry, your curse is slowly working. No, he's impervious. Don't worry about it.
It's over. We are screwed.
Hurry up and react. Asmon's expecting a third video. Fucking cracking that whip. Jesus. No. Did I do that? Oh no, dude. That's a recursive loop.
What is it? So yeah, that's the reason why people don't make videos.
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
I milk Asmon because I like, oh wow. And I wish that was the case more. And I don't know which one's pretending to be a woman, which one's going to federal prison outweighs the goblin from Texas. It's simple, people believe what Asmon's saying. How are you a victim in like... Man.
Oh wow.
What else am I supposed to say? Damn.
I mean, yeah, right?
And yeah, what else? Oh my god.
Is he blushing? I think we're both blushing, chat. We're both blushing. What the fuck, dude? The fox who has been noticed. Fuck, man. Fuck, man. Now's your chance. Ask him out. Chad, you're gonna kill me. I'm just gonna like absorb into a black hole of embarrassment. Oh god, you got a good pull, so you had to share it, you know? So when's the marriage ceremony? Maybe he needs a +1 for DC. Oh my god, I would accept that, but you know. Asmongold reveals he's been invited to a major event by the Trump admin and that they are most likely watching his content. I got invited to a very, very big event. I'm not sure it's gonna happen, but it might. There are people that are involved in the government that are aware. He absolutely should. There should be no question about this. Like, I get that it can feel, you know, like pressure on your shoulders when getting involved in that stuff, but 100% I really hope he takes that opportunity.
Oh my, they're watching? So, I got invited to a very, very big event. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen, but it might. We'll see what happens.
And I like how the thing in the background right now is like the U.S. Justice Department is seeking names, addresses, and banking information of Reddit and X users. U.S. Attorney's Office for Washington, led by Janine Pirro, a close ally of President Donald Trump, has subpoenaed the social media companies as part of criminal investigations. And then you have a disgusting communist down below saying, the don't tread on me folks requesting usernames, addresses, and banking records because somebody hurt ICE's feelings online is an unbelievable plot twist. No, Fuck you. The era of using our morals, standards, and principles against us to defend you destroying us is fucking over. Shut the fuck up.
And so, I don't want to get into specifics. I'm not trying to get into specifics. But I will say that my understanding is that there are people that are involved in the government that are aware. They're aware. Is a suit mandatory? Yes. Yes, a suit would be.
I would love to see Asmon in a fucking suit. Holy fuck! That'd go so hard!
Mandatory. You know what I should do? I should go to, like, what's a really good suit maker? Like, should I just...
Armani. Yes, the classic hurt feelings of we will kill you and your family. You're just like a fucking fascist if you don't let us kill you and your whole family, actually.
Just try to find, like, a referral from a guy that I know, and I have to find, like, a random Italian guy that, like, lives in, like, fucking some random place in LA, and I fly out and, like, have him make me a suit.
Wait, I have the Italian guys making my furniture coming in August. He could just talk to them. He could just talk to those random Italian guys. They were excited about installing my furniture. That'd be perfect. That's a perfect excuse. That's your in, Kirsche.
And I give them like 15 grand or 20 grand for it. Like, or should I just go like, because I feel like that is like, that's way more, by the way, that is like infinitely fucking more of a flex than like getting a Armani suit, in my opinion, because like, that's the kind of thing.
Armani was just the first suit maker I could think of off the top of my head. I'm so sorry.
You do if like you don't need to flex that you have money, you just want to look good. So the Justice Department, I think that they probably have seen some of the things I've said, and I'm glad, right? Which, by the way, is like people say, oh, you've got no mainstream motion, you don't have people that care. Well, would you rather have people on Fox News talking about you, or would you rather have people on Fox News talking about what the government is doing that happens to be the same thing that you said? I don't know. I mean, I think both would be really fucking cool, right? One of them obviously opens you up to like more freaks attacking you, but it also opens you up to more people who agree with you and who would want to interact with you. I know Asmon's kind of in his like, I don't want to talk to anyone arc at the moment, but I think either way it would be really fucking cool. And also, if Fox News hosted a VTuber that was openly participating in orgies, I think Fox News could host Asmongold, let's be honest. Look, guys, it could be either one. It really depends. So, I'm not too worried about it.
Should have Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, Asmon, and Hassan in one show. Why would you put Hassan next to those people? Because it'll be hilarious to hear him malding the whole time. The suit will get worn once, and then we'll see it draped across his background couch for the next 3 years. Don't drape it. At least, like, put the hanger up on something, man. You're always gonna have a clown around for laughs. Oh my god. But I hope he takes that opportunity, because that would be incredibly fun to see and react to, and I would love to see him get a bit more involved, I guess, because, like, he's been really insightful and inspirational to a lot of people, and it would just be really nice. Like, I know he's never asked to be some kind of like figurehead of anything, and I'm sure he would tell people like, yeah, don't pay attention to me, I'm fucking nothing, bro. But it's still just like, even if he has that mentality, he's still been inspirational and he's still been something good for a lot of people, and it would be nice to see that spread further. This guy said, I sent one message on Signal asking how to help the Delaney Hall protesters, and within minutes I had a Venmo link and supply list. Supply list wasn't water bottles. Then I followed the Venmo, then I pulled the 990s, and then it all started to unravel. One message unraveled the entire New Jersey anti-ICE network. More soon. And here's the more. I messaged a group admin asking how my family in New Jersey could help the Delaney Hall protesters. Within minutes, she sent me a supply list and a Venmo donation link. The supply list wasn't water bottles, it was P100 respirators, tear gas grade, military spec impact goggles, welding gloves for picking up hot tear gas canisters, helmets, body armor, and Sudicon chemical decontamination wipes. That's a military law enforcement product most people have never heard of.
He's correct. I've never heard of Sudicon chemical decontamination wipes. That's a new one for me. The Venmo link at Kosi Chan J, that account belongs to Jenny Garcia. She's the main organizer of the Delaney Hall protests. Quoted in the American Prospect, Newsweek, and Time, listed as the official press contact. She's not a volunteer, she is a professional organizer. Venmo feeds are public, and I pulled hers. Payments labeled commissary, money for detained immigrants to buy food inside the facility. Commissary, phone accounts fund, keeping detainees' phones active. DSA meeting, Democratic Socialists of America. Mutual aid, and fuck ICE. Same account, Uber rides, cumbia dance classes, a cafe called Pika's Fika, protest donations, and personal spending. One feed, no separation. So who pays Jenny Garcia? She holds 3 titles at 3 organizations. Detention Watch Network, DC-based, $7.2 million in assets. Ford Foundation funded. AFSC classified as a church, no public donors. Tides Foundation gave them $221,000. Kosasha, New Jersey, the Kosashan J Venmo name, files 2 990s, reports $0 in salaries every year. Every officer, nobody gets paid. Foundation money pays Garcia through DWN and AFSC. She organizes under Kosasha's name. Kosasha claims to pay nobody. And here's some screenshots. That says, hi, we just got this info from the folks on the ground. People on the ground at Delaney need supplies. Online donations, and then they say for local drop-offs, these are the supplies needed at this time. Chairs for med tent, extra wheelchairs, portable chargers, goggles, impact-rated shatterproofed ANSI, Z87.1, or MilPref 32432. Respirators, P100, knee, wrist, shin, arm guards, helmets, generator, umbrellas, flashlights, large and bright, welding gloves for incoming tear gas canisters, flashlights, large and bright, a second time. It's like Phasmophobia. And Sudecon, online bulk is cheapest. I think this is potentially a great way. Like, if all the Marxists do is infiltrate places, why not infiltrate them back for the sole purpose of gaining information? You would have to have the wherewithal to play pretend and pretend that you are a Marxist for an extended period of time. You cannot get angry at these people. You cannot defame them. You cannot argue with them. You must play the perfect little comrade. And that's very difficult for some people. And then there's the Venmo. No U.S. money for death in Honduras? What? The Venmo name, Kosasha, means harvest in Spanish. Oh, that's kind of weird. That's kind of fucking, that their Venmo account is named Harvest? Ugh. Surely it can't be too difficult to pretend to be retarded. You would think so, but like when I do interviews, and it's been a long time since I've done an interview of this manner, but it's like when I interview people, I want the person I'm interviewing to speak about their beliefs as much as they possibly can, right? I don't want to like argue with them. I don't want to like push back. I just want to ask questions and basically give them the rope with which to hang themselves, right? And a lot of people find that very frustrating because they're just like, yeah, we want to see the blood sports. But when you're dealing with people who have like higher than 70 IQ, it's better to play the long game and let them give you as much information as possible. It's the exact thing that James O'Keefe does when he puts on his like Groucho mustache and everybody just gives him the information he wants.
In order to prevent that bitch from assassinating me, I've pretended to be mentally retarded for 7 years.
Blabs posted this screenshot the other day. Oh god, Klaus said, if being female requires you to produce large gametes, then you're not a biological woman. Women are more than their reproductive roles, and feminists have been arguing that for decades. Trans women support this view while you reinforce the patriarchal sexist roles. And J.K. Rowling fucking responded and said, this is really very simple. A female body is organized to produce large gametes. It is irrelevant whether the female in question is too young or too old to produce viable eggs. It is irrelevant whether the female's eggs have ever been fertilized or resulted in a birth. And it's like, damn, what a fucking come down. From the only reason you've ever been relevant or anyone knew who the fuck you were was from trying to attack me and get my sponsors to cut me down, to J.K. Rowling ratioing you on Twitter. What a fucking horrific life to live. Literally living in the shadow of everyone better than you. So thank you Blabs for gracing my timeline with that. Cause holy fuck, that was funny. J.K. Rowling coming in with the steel chair.
cornering. Oh my God! Look at
It has been wonderful that the only reason Klaus is relevant was trying to attack me and do life ruination on me, and then now everyone on the internet clowns on his ass. It is so amazing. Like, even people I never thought would have even seen a VTuber before are just like, yeah, nah, you're fucking retarded, get out of here. Nyara collects L's like he has a humiliation fetish. He probably does, let's be real. So, they've moved the timeline a little bit. At first, it was supposed to be non-white, set to become majority in the US by 2030. Now it's by 2050, with New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut reflecting the same change. Non-whites are set to become the majority for the first time in the US by 2050, a situation mirrored in up to 16 states, including New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, according to new census data. The expected transformation reflects astonishing demographic changes projected to sweep across America by between 2040 and 2050. Yet there are still people who will say that this is a conspiracy theory despite literal factual numbers being written down and espoused by politicians and media alike. Fueled by international and internal migration as well as falling birth rates, the US Census Bureau figures show. In 1980, the US was 80% white, but that figure is expected to drop to 47% by 2050 and 44% by 2060. I just want to point out that this is a crazy fucking drop for less than 100 years. Less than 100 years, and the population has been almost halved. That is intensely wild to think about. Half of the population just, like, completely replaced in under 100 years. That's crazy number maths, and I'm bad at math. At the state level, some of the shifts are even more striking. In 2000, just 3 states, California, Hawaii, and New Mexico, had less than a 50% white population. Hawaii has never had a majority white population, while in the 2000 US Census, the white population was 46% in California and 45% in New Mexico. Then by 2020, according to the most recent census, the white population in Maryland also had dropped to 47%, 46% in Nevada, and 40% in Texas. Now the next 2 decades are set to see further drastic demographic shifts. And I'm glad that the article also calls it drastic because, again, under 100 years this shift has occurred. That is incredibly drastic. By 2050, an additional 10 US states are forecast to see white people become a minority. They include New York, where the white population will drop to 46%, New Jersey at 37%, Connecticut 45%, Delaware 47%, Florida 39%, Georgia 37%, Arizona 43%, Illinois 49%, Oklahoma 49%, and Washington 49%. The forecast trends are set to continue, too, with white people becoming a minority or close to a minority in a total of 24 states by 2060. Some of those shifts involve Alaska, where white people will drop to 50% of the population by 2060, Louisiana at 51%, Massachusetts 46%, Minnesota 51%, Mississippi 51%, North Carolina 49%, Rhode Island 47%, and Virginia 47%. I feel like Virginia's gonna pick up that pace real fucking quick though, buddy. The data reflect the staggering changes that have taken place across the US since 1980. The least ethnically diverse state in the US is West Virginia, where 89% of the population was white in 2020. By 2050, that figure is set to only decrease marginally by 86%. I wonder what makes West Virginia safe? What makes it so that West Virginia is not declining like everywhere else? Country roads, the numbers are a little deceiving. The total population was 100 million people lower in 1980. The elephant in the room is massive numbers of immigrants, yes. Unfettered and unchecked immigration is a massive cause of the drastic change, for sure. Mildly OCD, thank you. There is no replacement, but if there were, it's a good thing. Also, here's numbers that say it's happening, but it's not, you conspiracy theorist. True. Here are the numbers, and here's how it's happening, and this is why it's a good thing, but also it's not happening if you notice it. And then they have some statistics here where they have like Alaska at 2020, 58% white, 2030, 57, 2040, 54, 2050, 52, 2060, 50. And so they have the list of like all of the states here. Massachusetts projected to be 46% white in 2060. New Hampshire not even on the list. All right, okay. AOC assured you data centers were turning the water brown. Surely she wouldn't lie. End Wokeness said, update as of May 29th, 2026. 0 stories from Associated Press on Henry Nowak. 0 stories from PBS. 0 stories from New York Times. 0 stories from NPR. 0 stories from the Wall Street Journal. 0 stories from CNN. 0 stories from the Washington Post. 0 stories from Reuters. 0 stories from MSNBC on Henry Nowak. And Elon Musk said, both men said I can't breathe, but only one man's death was covered relentlessly by the media. The only conclusion that can be drawn is that the legacy mainstream media is incredibly, hatefully racist against whites. And I would have to agree with him, especially with how many Twitter freaks repeat the phrase, you can't be racist to white people. That in and of itself is racism. Congratulations, do not pass go, do not collect $200. Shocker, the commie news networks don't care about the truth, you know? It took people until 2025 to realize when it was looking at them back in 2010. This is why I think that like, poll, I don't want to call it like a trolling, but the It's Okay to Be White campaign, when people put up simple pieces of paper that said, it's okay to be white, and so many people flipped the fuck out, saying like, oh, this is white supremacy in action, and I'm scared to be on campus where the It's Okay to Be White flyer was put up. If the simple existence of white people is enough to make you go on racist tirades, you might be a racist. Universities have been running propaganda to genocide white people. White Americans need to start a class action lawsuit against universities. And he's got a clip here that starts out with an article from 2017 that says, when is it okay to kill whites?
Texas A&M professor asks, when is it okay to kill whites? New York professor says having a white nuclear family promotes white supremacy. Professor tweets that white people should commit mass suicide. College professor says kill cops, kill all white people, and kill the straights. Professor says all I want for Christmas is white genocide. Georgetown professor says all white people are racist. Trinity College professor calls white people inhuman. Let them fucking die. College professor says believing in hard work is a white ideology. College professor says white people are conditioned to commit mass murder. A professor equates math with white privilege. A professor says white supremacist patriarchy is responsible for the Vegas shooting. Professors hold a white racism course at FGCU. USC professor calls for Holocaust against all white people. Professor says I'll teach my children to be cautious and distrust friendship with white people. Baltimore professor says white people need to personally give all of their money to black people. College professor says some white people may have to die to solve racism. College professor says white masculinity is a problem for America. Georgetown professor says all white people are racist. Rutgers professor was taken to the NYC hospital for psychiatric evaluation after he tweeted threatening to kill white people. White professor calls all white people to mass suicide because of slavery. Here's a slide from a college classroom that says white tears on a mug. Here's another slide from a college classroom that says white people stay colonizing. White privilege does exist. Bigfoot, unicorns, reverse racism, what do they all have in common? Stating that reverse racism isn't real. Y'all white people are dangerous. The horror story is white people are a plague to the planet. Here's one that says white people are crazy. And finally, how white people plagued...
It's kind of crazy to me that the entire, at least my country, right? The entire country of the United States of America, we fought a war. We reoriented laws in order to make it so, like, hey, maybe stop being racist to people because of the color of their skin. That's kind of stupid. Maybe not do that. And so, like, most Americans started internalizing, like, hey, yeah, that's right. We should judge people on the content of their character, not the color of their skin. And now we have all these college professors basically encouraging and teaching their students to be racist in the correct way, to be racist against the people that supposedly deserve it. And it's kind of fucking wild to see. And if you complain about it, supposedly you're also the problem, because this is just normal now. This is the mainstream opinion.